Welcome back to Macabre London's Abhorrent Advent Calendar. As you'll be aware, if you've already joined me for the past 6 episodes, I'm counting down the days until Christmas, but not in the usual joyful way you may expect. Instead, I'll be telling you 24 gruesome stories until we hit Christmas Day, when you'll receive a full-length episode of Macabre London as your hideous Christmas present from me to you. Under door number 6, we met the real Santa, St. Nicholas, and learned about his friendship with some unlikely characters. Today, we're veering away from the saintly and going straight to hell, or more precisely, Guatemala, to meet El Diablo. In the first week of December in Guatemala in Central America, the streets become packed with devils. You'd be forgiven in thinking that the Halloween decorations had just been left up for far too long, but the satanic decorations have another purpose. On the 7th of December at 6 p.m, about half an hour after sunset, the whole city erupts into flame, crackers and explosions as fireworks light up the sky. This traditional festival is held annually, in an attempt to rid each household of its accumulated evil that may have snuck in over the past year. The reason for the purification is to make sure the devil is cast out before the following evening of the 8th of December, when the Feast of the Immaculate Conception is held, a festival celebrated by the Catholic population to commemorate the Virgin Mary's conception. The festive fires on the eve of the feast are symbolically cleansing, making sure the ethereal path is clear for the season of celebrations ahead, and that any sneaky demons have been given the heave-ho before they can upset Christmas. To make sure everything is prepped and ready for the evening, everyone spends all day or even all week cleaning their house, accumulating old rubbish, and adding it to a bonfire outside their home. It's also deemed lucky to help other people build their bonfires, and as such, the streets are cleaned in a neighbourhood effort and trash piles aplenty appear, ready to be set ablaze. On every street corner, vendors can be found selling devil-shaped piñatas by the boatload, ready to be placed atop the rubbish piles, and to make things extra cleansing, firecrackers are added to the inside to make sure the festivities really start with a bang. Much like Bonfire Night in the UK, which sees a similar carelessness with fireworks, anyone can set up and burn their own satanic effigy in the street, and this has led to organised displays being created to calm down the fire-related chaos. At the supervised displays, firefighters watch alongside the crowd, with hoses at the ready, waiting to extinguish anything that gets too out of hand. A specially made devil is created for the event and mounted atop a tall wooden box so it can be seen from way back in the large crowd. To begin with, the devil, who is stuffed with straw to make him even more flammable, is doused in lighter fluid. An elected official, usually the mayor, then sets light to the effigy, and then, as an added bit of excitement, his extremities are dotted with firecrackers, so as he burns, he randomly explodes. I would like to say that that's a deep metaphor for people exploding with rage, but I think it might just be down to the fact that firecrackers are a lot of fun and available cheaply by the meter. Once the sacrificial combustible devil has been immolated, his ashes are swept away and the path is clear for the evil-free festivities to begin. This usually coincides with Christmas lights being switched on, and family being invited into the home now it's been cleansed. The tradition of burning the devil starts innocently enough in Guatemalan culture, when rich people used to light lanterns in their windows and outside their houses to keep out the dark forces. With light comes less shadows and fewer places for the devil to lurk. The tradition caught on, and when those who couldn't afford lanterns, i.e. the majority of people, the burning piles of trash started to pop up. The other fire starters who popularised the trend were monks in Antigua at the Santo Domingo Monastery, who even before the lantern lighting, way back in the 17th century, used to burn an effigy of the devil as part of the Feast of the Rosary, which celebrates Mary's triumph over the devil on the 7th of October. But over time, the flammable Satan got co-opted into the pre-Christmas celebration as Marymas is on her birthday in September, making it too early to cast out the devil, as he'd have enough time to return in the subsequent months. Even though the festival is an efficient way of cleaning out your unwanted homewares, it's not great for the environment. The burning of papier-mâché effigies is not too much of a concern, but by burning toxic materials that reside in normal household rubbish, there is a point of contention between the tradition and the environmental impact. However, local authorities are trying to get the waste burning under control, so this tradition can continue for many more generations to come. But with an estimated 500,000 fires burning over the country in one night, this will be no mean feat to accomplish. You may think that Quema Del Diablo is a one-off tradition around the world, but it's not the only festival of fire during the festive period. In Gavle, in Sweden, a tradition has been created around the Yule goat that's erected in the main square every year. Since 1966, a large straw goat has been created to celebrate Advent. The goat, who is a towering 43 feet tall and 7 feet long, has been subject to repeated arson attacks over the years. When it was first placed in the town, the goat lasted all the way through Christmas before it was set on fire on New Year's Eve by a vandal who was caught and convicted of vandalism. The conviction must have put any copycat arsonists off, as for the next 2 years the goat was left unharmed. The era of peace for the goat was about to be over though, as from 1969 through to 1980, it didn't make it through any Christmases without suffering some kind of attempt at reducing it to ashes or horse food. In 1970, the goat only lasted 6 short hours before it was torched, and when another goat was brought into the equation, there was double the fun, and both goats would be set alight, or given more interesting vandalistic interpretations. Out of all of the destruction techniques, some of the most creative assassination attempts have seen the goat kicked to pieces, the legs removed, and one time it was hit by a car. A bold choice, considering the giant bovid weighs well over 3 tons. The primary method of destruction, however, is to set it alight. This has caused the Swedish authorities to be creative in creating a goat that can withstand fire. Since 1979, various methods of fireproofing have been tried out on the goat, with everything from covering it in ice through to soaking the hay in fire-retardant liquid, but every time the goat has still burned to the ground, leaving its metal skeleton as its only memory. In its 53 years, the goat has been reduced to embers 37 times. Since the introduction of webcams and 24/7 security, the goat has survived the past 3 Christmases, which is a record. Will it survive 2020? Who knows? But if you want to be on Goat Watch, you can tune into the 24/7 live feed, which is on the town's very own website, and maybe you might just catch a Christmas tradition in the making. Thank you for joining me for door number 7 of the Macabre London Abhorrent Advent Calendar. I know you'll be dying to check on that webcam, so I'll put the link in the description and a link to it on my social media so you can get involved and see what's going on. I'll be back tomorrow with door number 8, so make sure you join me then. Please like, comment, rate, review and subscribe on whatever platform you're enjoying this on, and come and say hi on my social media. If you'd like to help support the show, then you can do so by signing up to my Patreon, buying a gift from the Amazon wishlist, or making a one-off donation via the Acast supporter link. The links for all of these are in the show notes and description. Thanks for joining me, I've been Nikki Drees, and I'll see you for door number 8 tomorrow.